got a nice family group that are on Spum Road. We're heading north, going into, they've just crossed Gowrie Main. I've picked up their tracks on Gowrie Main and followed them up Spum Road. Well, they hadn't crossed Spum Road. I thought I might go to Treehouse Dam. It's not very hot. It's overcast. It's about 15 degrees Celsius, I think. That's roughly 53 in Fahrenheit. Look at that little one. I thought he was going to dig in the sand. And let's move up a little bit to see these fantastic beings. My name is Marc. VM is on camera. And if Brent gets a visual of those wild dogs, we'll go straight back to them, and I'm going to try and stay with this group of ellies for a while. They're probably going to make their way out onto Philemon's cut line, and it'll be nice and open. Put sandy there, they might throw sand. And I'm glad I managed to find them, because I was way up in the north. I was following tracks of a leopard that came out of quarantine onto Vuatela Access Road. I followed these tracks all the way up Aubrey's Road to Sydney's Dam, and then he did a 90-degree turn and crossed Triple M going into Simbambili right in front of the gate to the Sabi Sands. That little one digging there. And the drongo, I don't know what he's doing. Playing. There was a drongo catching insects next to it. Up grasses, shaking all the sand off of the root ball. Actually moving twigs out of the way to get to other greener pastures. There's a tuft of grass and another tuft of grass now. Just slapping it down once or twice to get the sand off of it. The bush is a little bit dense now, but I'm hoping that we'll a little bit more open as they move forward. Move it forward. want noise now. So far I haven't yet identified any particular ellies that I'm familiar with. I wouldn't know. It could be a while before I can establish whether I've seen any of them before. When I get a good look at ears and tusks. Each elephant has an individual character and face and feature and temperament and mood. Some days they're moody, some days they're relaxed. I'm guessing we've got maybe 3 different family groups here. 3 different family units that make up the small herd. The family units themselves, each family unit has its matriarch and her daughters and children. And each matriarch would be most likely sisters who were once part of one single family unit when they were children. And now that they've become adults, they're the matriarchs of their own family unit. At WildEarth.tv or hashtag Safari Live if you're with us and with these elephants. And now finally coming out into the open a little bit. Big girl. There's also a very big bull coming out to coming to say hello to the family group. He's greeting a cow just behind the bushes, unfortunately, putting his trunk in her mouth. This is a very important greeting for ellies. He might come and approach this cow, or maybe he'll just go up to that other family unit. It seems that maybe he's only just arrived. Hello, little one. And hello, Mrs. Elephant. Fork-tailed drongo, catching insects that get chased up by the ellies. More and more so in the dry season, because it just offers far more insects than if they were just to sit quietly on a tree and hope to see something moving. And the more big mammals move through the grassland, the more insects are chased up by them. Something with his trunk and used the toe to break it off of the ground. In Michigan wants to know, how can you tell if an elephant gets a cold, like a human head cold? I guess it gets a runny nose. I don't know if they're susceptible to that. Maybe, I'm sure maybe they are some sort of course they'd be susceptible to pneumonia. I think any creature is. There's a little calf trying to chase the drongo, but unfortunately it's behind the tree for you. Deanna, I don't know. I'll give up. How do you tell if an elephant has a cold? I'm going to try and move forward. I'm worried that if I start the car, it's going to turn around and run back to Mum. That's just... It's still behind the tree. Hello, Juliet in Wyoming. This little elephant was reacting to the little drongo. Juliet in Wyoming was asking about the trees. Do they lose their leaves, or do they lose their leaves in winter? Do the animals have to rely on grasses? Not necessarily, Juliet. Unfortunately, it depends on which... Well, not unfortunately, but it depends on which animal we're talking about. Because some animals are grazers and they only eat grass, and some animals are browsers and they only eat leaves. And there always will be leaves, which is the nutritional value of the leaves changes in the dry season. Not all the trees lose their leaves. But elephants are lucky because they have such a varied diet. They will eat branches, they will eat roots, they will eat bark. See, the trouble with being with a herd of elephants, you don't know where to look first. There's always something happening. Especially with the little ones. That little one is probably only about a year and a half. Not even. This little one, probably going on about 3 years old. And I'm trying to move. It's digging at something. Wanting to know if elephants give birth at any particular time of the year. Not to my knowledge, Sarah. I think they give birth any time of the year, really. The little one was probably just called by its mom, or just realized that mom's moving off. That is back to her. Wonderful, isn't it? Spending time with Ellie's. Oh no, it looks like I'm headed to the Arctic. But it is a bit chilly this morning. Oh, let's see. Let the others catch up. They're going to be there for a little while because one of the youngsters has decided to take a nap. Let's see if we can go and have a look where this bull is. With this other family unit, this other family group, and there's a little one, also under a year, that's lying down, and we can just see it underneath one of the cow's tummies. Got up now. They're all moving off to follow the rest of the herd. Tiny little thing, under a year. Hello, Marianne in Arkansas. I think we're going to show you an answer to your question, asking if elephants blink. They do indeed. With very long eyelashes. Of course, now his eye is hidden. Trying to find my way around some of these ellies. Stripping a lot of leaves off of that jackalberry. Baby jackalberry growing underneath this marula tree. Might make a noise going through. All the leaves. There comes the little one coming back to its older sister, have a look. Do elephants blink? Mr. Elephant, sir? You blink first. He's having a good time on this jackalberry. He's eating jackalberry leaves, and the jackalberry leaves last quite a long time throughout the dry season. The jackalberry changes its leaves in a very short period of time. They'll all go yellow, fall off, and the new ones will come out fairly quickly. And the rest of the family are actually eating bush willow leaves that are also slowly fading in colour and obviously nutrient value. But they don't really need very nutritious things because they only digest a small percentage of what they take in, as long as they've got the right roughage and the right stuff. It's not a jackalberry, is it? In Huntington Beach in California. See now, that female, she's... Where's the little one? Is it lying down again? Looks like that little one was resting again. There's the bull is sniffing at the little boy and sniffing the female. Calcium. The question is calcium. Where do we get the calcium from? Well, I think a lot of minerals they get from soil. They'll eat it with soil on termite mounds. Do the kind of things that some of the other large mammals do, like kudu and giraffe when they need calcium. Kudu and giraffe chew on bone, but I've never seen elephant. I've seen elephants carrying bones, but that is because it's just they just do that. They like carrying bones of their ancestors. Some of the plants do carry, some of the leaves that they eat, some of the plants that they eat have calcium. It's making a noise and frightening the children. Unfortunately, only children. I don't think I'm going to get through here. And it is in the middle of the block between Gowrie Main and Solomon's Cutline. Quite a dense block. See if we can make it through here. This Terminator will pop up onto it. Black monkeys. Okay. Deanna, sorry, we kind of misread your question there. Apologies for that. Deanna was asking how can Vitellis elephants get cold? Not if they get a cold, not if they catch cold, but if they feel cold. You mean like, do they get goosebumps? And if they're such big animals, would they be called goosebumps or turkey bumps? They would stick to rather dense foliage out of the wind and out of the weather. I guess also if the temperature is cold, we know that they must be fairly cold, but their bodies have to regulate their body temperature. They probably huddle together a lot more. How do you tell? I don't know. I mean, I could imagine that these ellies at the moment are feeling the temperature change, that it is cooler than it has been in some time. We are getting into the colder months of winter. In Arkansas, do babies find their mom by smell? Well, partly, I think, Joan, yes. Partly. But they will recognize their mothers by sight, by sound, by feel, by where they are, they're never far from mom, and they're only ever, if they are not with mom, they're with an older sibling. In these circumstances, I think in the much larger herds, when a child looks up and mom might have moved off browsing elsewhere, it vocalizes, and it's like most animals, even birds. I'd like to see if we could. There's change now because the calf's moved to the front, and I'm going to try and drive forward. But there was a very interesting thing how that female was actually caressing the calf with her tail. The calf was standing behind her, and she was making sure that at any moment, every single moment, she had physical touch with her calf behind her. So she obviously can't see him behind her, but now I think it's gone forward to suckle. Station looking for Marc. Which station looking for Marc? Ready to come in? Oh, can't get anyone on the radio. I'd say we're probably close trying to get her foot in there to break off this one. What she's eating is the recoppicing of these small acacias. You can see that they're a little bit blackened because there was a fire here in late winter, early spring, I think. Just sometime before we started in November, there was a fire here. And obviously it was quite hot in places. That managed to kill off most of the top of that tree. And she's bending some of the dead trunks over to get to where the trees are regrowing at the base, what we call recoppicing. Hello, Mr. Ellie. He's sneaking up behind us.
Marc.
Excuse me, folks. Go ahead, Ephraim.
Yeah, what do you want? I didn't do anything.
Yeah, you're welcome. Very neat, dude, very neat. You see, now she's moved off because of him, not because of me. He arrived and she's gone back to the family group. So I guess it could be that there might be one of these cows in estrus, and he might be following on some sort of pheromone scent that he's picking up in their urine and their dung. Or he could be related to them and he's socializing with them. But it looks like the cows are keeping everybody in close quarters now. They're all bunched up. Shall we go, Mr. Ellie? Shall we follow the ladies? Just remember, I'm not in competition with you. I'm just a silent observer. Relax, dude, relax. I'm going to go this way. You can go that way. You might sneak under this tree. Could be unfair. Same thing, getting fresh growth from the summer. A few grasses, perhaps. Yeah, over the grass to go with the twigs and leaves. It's a whole salad out here for an elephant. Morning, Brenda. Brenda's in Pennsylvania. Brenda's asking whether, when an elephant is in labor, whether she goes off on her own or if she stays with the family group, with the breeding herd. As far as I know, and I sadly, in all my years, decades of spending time with Ellies, and a lot of time, I have to add, living with them in many parts of Africa. I've never been lucky enough to witness a birth, so I can only say from watching it in movies and video, the whole herd gathers around her and they dote on her, and it's a family affair when she goes into labor. It's a very exciting time for the herd. So far, I don't know of elephants that go off on their own. They're very vulnerable when they're in labour and giving birth, and I think because it is such a welcome thing for a family, the way they welcome a child into the world, it does become a whole family function. You're going to throw that aside, the dead stick, to get to the new growth underneath. Now I'll grab it and kick it. When they're using his toenails to almost slice it. Well, they're not his toenails, those frontal feet of our hands, his fingernails. Yeah, he'll do it again. A side swipe to the toenails, and again. There you go. Thank you, Mr. Eddie. Morning, Judy. Judy in San Francisco wants to know if the big bull Ellies have much interaction with their babies when they come and visit the family groups. Yes, they do. They do. Quite wonderful to see. Of course, it's very difficult to tell whether a bull that is coming to visit is actually a father of any of the calves. It's kind of difficult to tell unless you've been studying. He's just marching straight into the herd. He's greeting the tiny little calf. I can just move a little bit forward. There's the calf right in front of him. We'll try and squeeze through here. It's a little awkward with a lot of vegetation. But he's walked straight into the family group. They were all quite tightly bunched together, and he's sniffing and tasting, actually. He's touching and tasting the females on their vulva. There's a little one just underneath his head, a little one learning how to push a tree. If there's any interaction between him and that tiny little calf. One of the few other mammals that has mammary glands between the front legs, elephants, other than us and bats. And anything, if you can think of any other mammals that have mammaries between the front legs, let me know. time to move again. Then suddenly the whole herd moves. Time for me to move. Ample water, ample food, good protection. The lion are not hunting elephant as much well, there are only maybe 1 or 2 prides in the whole of Kruger that have learned how to take down young elephant. And other than that, there aren't any other predators of elephant calves. Mostly because maternal care, maternal bond is so strong that a cow won't let anything get near her calf. But there are areas, of course, where it's a lot different. In Botswana, parts of Botswana, the elephants have it easy. Like in the Okavango Delta, for example, elephants have it pretty easy. There's 12,000 square miles of inland delta with waterways and lush green vegetation, and they do well there. But in the northern part of Botswana, there's somewhat of an overpopulation of elephants, in a sense. It's only really because elephants have a very small area of the Chobe River where they can get to the water, and there are just a lot of elephants that live in the Mopani belt south of that. They all try and get up to the water at the same time, and well, maternal care isn't as strong under those dense populated areas of elephants. And lion for 20 more years now have been hunting elephant quite extensively. Even adult elephants have big prides of lions and are able to bring down elephants. And so the survival rate in a place like that is a lot different. I'm enjoying. And Morning Glory was saying that, of course, all the other primates have memories between their front legs. But Donna was saying the bears too. Bears also have memories in front arms, front legs, between the front legs. Thank you. And that's interesting. Thank you for the answers to my question. Now I can answer one of your questions. Hello, little Ellie. Yes, I think so. I just wanted to mention that they are at a site where Hayden and Peter, I think, saw buffalo kill, lion killing buffalo. There's the buffalo carcass here. This is going to be interesting because I want to see what... There's a calf that's playing with the bones. There's an elephant calf. So the bull is standing over most of the skeleton. There's a small one. But he's just feeding. He's not even doing anything with the bones. These old buffalo bones. He's just picking up a knocked bone with his trunk, standing on a rib bone. Clearly not as concerned with buffalo bones as they are with elephant bones. And if anything, the calves are playing in the sand here more than anything else, rather than actually doing anything with the calf. I think it was a buffalo and a calf. Was it two? Yeah, I think he'll there. Look at that little one playing there. Trying to get up. Or it's just rolling. Or it's just playing because it's soft sand. Little elephants love soft places. Siblings grabbing its tail. That's going to help it up. Look, she's helping the little one up.
Only one station with that ambulance door, which is about halfway between Carrie May and Catline. Thanks, Brent.
Thanks, Brent.
Which area are you working at the moment?
That was not very nice, Mr. Elephant. That's nasty. That was really nasty. He just backed up into them and scattered them with his legs.
Alright, thanks. Yeah, last update I got, I don't think there's
Greeting, the cow's greeting him. Maybe she's the one who's in estrus. And the little ones are playing nicely, and he just came and barged in there and kicked them out of the way. I actually could hear that one kick when he kicked the older calf, but they're going to come back. They like the soft sand. This must be Mom. Guiding the calf away, the younger calf, and then it's taking the older one with her. Interesting behavior. Wow. Mrs. Ellie, I know, making a noise, and you're all trying to be quiet. directly from the road, I think. One elephant just to my right, very big one facing me. Tusks are only a few feet away, but it's so dense I can hardly see who it is. I can see one broken tusk. Maybe if I move forward. Morning glory, Missouri. We're referring to that grumpy old bull that was doing some nasty things. Have I ever witnessed that before? I have witnessed similar. I don't know, it's just a bull being a bull. He doesn't want the children to have fun. What do I read into that behavior? It's hard to say. It's hard to think of it without being anthropomorphic. And whilst a lot of the time with elephants one can, because they do have human emotions, they do have, I need to take some of this off. They have similar things like jealousy and the kind of emotions that we go through. I don't know, maybe he was just, the children were having fun and he didn't like that. Hello, this is the first one we actually came across, and that's next to me now. going to move forward and see if we can see her better. She's very close, but it's so dense we can only see parts of her. The gory bush. Station Klumbiendloof now on Spam Road.
The last station is the KFI joint.
Sure, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So you behave yourself. I think since they're quite invisible at the moment, being in such a dense area, except maybe for this one might be coming across the road to join them shortly. But I think if we can, maybe we'll go over to Brent for a little while and see what he's up to. And I'm going to stay here. I think, judging by the last few days of not really having much, I'd like to stay with them for a while.